Captain Lena Reyes walks along the narrow path that winds through the red sands of Kefara IV. The sky above is dark and filled with bright stars. A cool wind stirs the fine dust, whispering across the veined rocks. She carries her research bag over one shoulder and grips her rifle in the other hand. Her boots crunch softly on the loose gravel. All day she has climbed steep hills and gathered strange, glowing plants. Now her body feels heavy, but her senses remain sharp. Even in the quiet of night, Kefara can be deadly. She glances at her wrist display. 23:47 local time. The glow of her camp's solar lanterns appears ahead, reassuring and warm. 2 lamps hang from metal poles, casting long shadows across the flat clearing. A small generator hums quietly beside her tent, recharging batteries and keeping sensors alive. Dust motes dance in the lamp's pale light. Lena reaches for her water canteen and takes a slow sip, tasting the cool liquid. She breathes deeply, allowing herself a moment of ease. The horizon is empty. No animals in sight, no other humans, no signals pinging on her scanner. Just the silent desert stretching in all directions. She steps onto the cleared soil of her camp and lets her guard slip for a heartbeat. Her rifle lowers, and she feels the first real relief since dawn. She pats the side of her pack, checking the small tablet she carries for quick field notes. In one pocket, she keeps a compact flare launcher. In another, a handheld comlink that can reach orbit if she needs backup. Tonight, though, she hopes to rest without interruptions. She notices a few broken stalks of the plants she brought, back this morning laying unused near the equipment crate. Lena approaches her tent, a sturdy canvas dome reinforced with alloy frame struts. It is her home and lab on this foreign world. She slides her rifle down to the rack by the entrance and reaches for the zipper. Her fingers move with practiced ease, but a sudden chill runs down her spine. She stops before pulling the flap all the way open. A shadow stands just beyond the tent's entrance, too still to be one of Kefara's native creatures. She exhales slowly and crouches, grabbing her rifle again. The desert night is quiet, but her heart thumps loudly in her chest. The shadow remains motionless under the lantern's dim halo. Inside, the hum of the generator seems louder, as if it waits for her next move. Lena's breath clouds in the cool air. She recalls training in the Earth Global Corps. Always assume the worst, trust nothing, and never drop your guard. The figure by the tent is tall and slender, with a shape unlike any human silhouette. Lena kneels, bringing her rifle up, her eyes seeking a clear shot. Yet the alien stands frozen, one hand raised in what might be a peaceful gesture. No weapon is visible. The figure's outline shimmers slightly in the lantern light, as though their skin shifts color with every breath. Lena feels a mix of fear and awe. Fear of the unknown, awe at the mystery before her. She leans forward, voice low. "Identify yourself," she says. Her words echo strangely in the still air. No reply comes, only the whisper of wind. Lena notices the figure's head tilt, a slow, curious motion. The silhouette reveals slender hips and long limbs. A soft glow seems to surround the stranger, faint but constant. Lena's instincts urge her to push back, but her mind urges patience. She waits, rifle at the ready, every muscle tense. As Lena watches, she notices small details. The stranger's pale skin seems almost translucent, like moonlight through a thin veil. The head is crowned with fine tendrils, not hair, that drift gently in the breeze. Lena's pulse slows, replaced by careful intrigue. She wonders if this being means harm, or perhaps help. Her finger hovers near the trigger, but she does not fire. Instead, she lowers her voice. "I am Captain Lena Reyes. I come in peace." The shadow remains still, but then the stranger steps forward, into the ring of lantern light. Lena feels a sudden rush of wind as they draw closer. The alien woman's face comes into view. High cheekbones, large eyes like polished amber, and a mouth that curves into neither a smile nor a frown. Her gaze meets Lena's, steady and calm. For a moment, time seems to halt between them. Lena's boots sink slightly into the dust, and she senses that whatever comes next will change everything she knows about Kafara 4. With one last breath, Lena zips open the tent flap completely and finds the alien woman waiting just outside, as if she has always been there. Captain Lena Rhea stands frozen as the alien woman's amber eyes lock onto hers. The air between them feels charged, like the moment before a storm breaks. Lena's heart races, but her training takes over. She lowers her rifle slightly and forces calm into her voice. "Why are you here?" she asks, each word measured and clear. The woman does not speak. Instead, she lifts a delicate hand and presses something small and glowing into Lena's palm. Lena feels the weight of a tiny device, no larger than her thumb. It pulses softly in her hand, casting pale blue light on the dust-coated fingers that hold it. The device is smooth and oval, with no visible buttons. Her breath catches as she wonders what power it holds. She glances back at the alien, who gives a small nod as if urging her to use it. Cautiously, Lena brings the device closer to her comlink. She fits it into the port on her handheld unit, where it clicks into place. The comm screen flickers, then displays lines of symbols that float and shift before her eyes. The symbols rearrange into words she can read. Danger. Obsidian forces incoming. Seek cover. Lena's jaw tightens. Obsidian forces. She knows that name from her mission. Briefing. They are a ruthless cadre of drone masters who enslave planets. If they come here, her camp will be destroyed, and the planet's strange life will suffer. The alien woman? Thalia. Lena now thinks of her by the name that appeared briefly on the comms interface. Steps back into the shadow of the lantern. Light, she touches her chest and the comm translates, "I escaped their grasp." Her voice, when it comes, is soft and musical, yet every word carries weight. Lena watches her lips move, matching the words on the screen. Thalia's gaze drifts upward, toward the dark horizon. Lena turns to look, and sees nothing but the empty desert. Still, her skin prickles with warning. She closes the gap between them. "How many are coming?" Lena asks. Thalia's fingers dance across the device, and new text appears. "A squadron. Many drones. They hunt me." Lena's fingers tighten around her rifle. Even though no noise reaches her ears, she senses the hum of distant engines. Somewhere beyond the dunes, obsidian drones prepare their attack. Without thinking, Lena steps back into her tent and grabs her flare launcher. Thalia crouches low beside her, watching as Lena loads the flare. Lena glances at the alien's calm expression and wonders if she trusts too easily. But Thalia's eyes are steady, and Lena decides to follow her instincts. She slings the launcher over her shoulder and beckons Thalia to follow. Outside, Lena directs Thalia to the north side of the camp, where a rocky outcrop shields them from direct view. Lena positions herself behind a large boulder. She checks the flare's safety latch and breathes deeply. Thalia stands beside her, her skin glowing faintly in the lamplight. Lena feels an unexpected sense of solidarity. This creature from another world has risked everything to warn her. Now it is her turn to protect both of them. A distant whirring begins, slow at first, then growing louder by the second. Lena's finger tightens on the flare's trigger. She motions to Thalia, ready. When the sound reaches a sharp pitch, she pulls the trigger. A brilliant red flare streaks into the sky, lighting the desert in a harsh glow. The flare's heat stampedes across the camp, drawing every spectator's eye. Moments later, Lena hears the telltale approach of mechanical wings. 4 obsidian drones barrel over the dune's crest, their dark bodies reflecting the flare's light. They circle low, scanning the ground. Lena counts them quickly. 4, maybe more hidden out of sight. The drones emit a series of shrill clicks. Lena's comm crackles. Intruders detected. She presses her ear to the device, then signals to Thalia. Together they slip from behind the rock and dash toward the tent area. Weaving between equipment crates and sensor arrays, Lena's boots race across the sand. The drones pivot toward her last known position and Lena dives behind her storage crate just as the first plasma bolt strikes the metal with a screech. The air fills with ozone and echoes of impact. Lena rolls and fires a flare at a cluster of rocks farther north, buying precious seconds as the drones break off their attack to investigate. Thalia crouches beside Lena, her breathing soft and controlled. She places a hand on Lena's arm, the cool touch grounding Lena's racing mind. The translator device glows with new text. "We must leave. Now." Lena nods and checks her pack. She grabs 2 data drives containing her research and the comm device. She secures her rifle and turns to Thalia. Before they slip away, Lena takes one last look at her camp, her work, her home, now under assault. The solar lanterns still burn, but the generator's hum is faltering under repeated strikes. Lena's heart aches, but she steels herself. She and Thalia vanish into the darkness, heading for the ravine she memorized earlier. Every step carries urgency, every breath reminds her that time is running out. The alien woman moves beside her, a silent partner in this desperate flight. As they round the last dune, the drones swarm the empty camp. Lena spares a glance behind. In the red glare of the flare, she sees the obsidian machines swarming like hungry insects. She turns forward. Again, thoughts racing. She must help Thalia escape. She must protect Kafara's fragile life. And she must rise to the challenge of the unknown, because Captain Lena Reyes never leaves a mission unfinished. Captain Lena Reyes and Thalia slip into the narrow mouth of the ravine, hearts pounding with urgency. The walls rise steep and jagged on either side, cutting off the glare of the dying flare. Darkness presses in, but small pockets of moonlight filter down through cracks overhead. Lena grips her rifle tightly, her finger never straying far from the trigger. Thalia moves beside her, silent and sure, each step measured. They follow a narrow path worn smooth by centuries of wind and water. The ground slopes gently downward. Small pools of clear water rest in shallow basins carved into the stone. Lena kneels and scoops a handful of water into her hand, bringing it to her lips. It tastes of cool earth and distant rainstorms, an unexpected comfort. Thalia watches her, amber eyes reflecting Lena's own resolve. "I know a safe place ahead," Thalia says finally, her voice a soft whisper in Lena's comm. The translator hums and displays the words. "It is an old shelter deep in the ravine. Few have seen it." Lena nods. She trusts her new ally more with every passing moment. They move deeper into the shadows. The walls of the ravine close in, forming a narrow corridor of stone. Strange plants cling to cracks in the rock, glowing faintly with bioluminescent light. The soft blue and green tendrils swirl in patterns on the walls, illuminating ancient symbols carved long ago. Lena reaches out to touch one of the carvings. The stone is smooth under her fingertips, as if worn by countless travelers. "These symbols," she murmurs. "They look like a warning." Thalia crouches beside her and traces the lines with a slender finger. The translator pulses. "They mark danger. Here lies the heart of the world. Tread lightly." Lena straightens, blade of her knife still in its sheath. She steps carefully, every sense alert. They continue until the corridor opens into a small chamber, half filled with rubble and the remains of a broken statue. The statue depicts a tall figure with many arms reaching skyward, each holding a simple tool. Lena studies it. She wonders what purpose this place once served. Thalia kneels before the statue's base and clears away debris, revealing a hatch in the floor. "This is the entrance," Thalia whispers. She presses her hand to the hatch and it slides open with a soft rumble. A shaft of cool, damp air rises from below. Lena shines her flashlight down the narrow stairs. The stone steps wind deeper into the earth, fading into darkness. She exhales. "After you," she says, offering her hand to Thalia. Thalia descends first, moving with graceful confidence. Lena follows, careful not to disturb loose stones. At the bottom, they enter a low-ceilinged chamber lit by the same bioluminescent plants. A small pool of water ripples at the center. In the far corner, a bench of smooth stone holds a battered case, Lena's own data drives and comm device, looted from her camp during the drone attack. Thalia indicates the case and Lena rushes forward. She opens it and checks her drives. Both are intact. Relief floods her. She breathes more easily now. "Thank you," she says, looking at Thalia. "I thought I'd lost everything." Thalia touches Lena's shoulder gently. The gesture feels like solidarity between two very different beings. Lena turns her attention to the pool. Above its surface, the water mirrors the glowing plants overhead. She notices movement beneath the surface, a dark shape gliding slowly. She leans forward, heart racing. A slender creature, like an eel but with fins of light, slips behind a rock and vanishes. Lena stands back, awed by the beauty of a world so different from Earth. "Kefara protects this place," Thalia says. "The heart is alive." Lena nods thoughtfully. She kneels by the pool and dips her fingers into the water. A gentle warmth spreads through her hand. She feels connected, as though the planet itself acknowledges her presence. Suddenly, a low rumble shakes the chamber. Rocks fall from the ceiling. Lena grabs Thalia's arm. "We need to move," she shouts. They dash back toward the stairwell as stones crash around them. Lena fires her flashlight ahead, revealing cracks spreading in the ceiling above the pool. The bioluminescent plants flicker. They scramble up the stairs, breathless and tense. Just as they clear the hatch, a shower of dust and small rocks blocks the entrance. Lena slams it shut behind them and pulls the lever Thalia showed her. The hatch seals with a heavy click. They press their backs against the metal door, chests heaving. In the sudden quiet, Lena meets Thalia's gaze. Neither needs words. They have found shelter and saved Lena's data, but the ravine itself nearly claimed them. Outside, the obsidian drones still hunt, and the planet's core trembles with hidden power. Lena raises her rifle, determination stealing her features. "We rest here," she says softly. "Then we plan our next move." Thalia nods. Her skin glows brightly in the dim light. Together, they begin to lay out their gear on the stone bench. The world outside is dangerous, but for this moment they are safe. And in this ancient shelter, human and alien forge a bond that may yet save Kefara the Four, and perhaps much more. Under the softly pulsing glow, Lena allows herself a single, hopeful thought. They are not alone. This planet has allies of its own. And as long as they stand together, hope can burn brighter than any drone's fire. Captain Lena Reyes wakes before the bioluminescent glow dims. The low hum of her translated comm device stirs her from restless sleep. She stretches and scans the stone chamber where Thalia sits cross-legged, her eyes closed. Lena steps quietly to the bench and pulls out her field notebook. With a soft pencil, she sketches the layout of the shelter, marking the hatch, the pool, and the alcove where they stored their packs. She knows that soon they must leave this refuge. The obsidian drones could regroup and attack again, and the planet's core tremors warn of greater danger. When Lena looks up, Thalia opens her eyes. The alien skin ripples faintly in the dim light, as though the planet's energy flows through her. "We must plan," Thalia says with measured calm. The translator glows with the words, "Yes, we prepare for the heart." Lena nods. She arranges their equipment on the stone bench. Her rifle, the comm device, a small battery pack, and the data drives. Thalia unlocks a hidden compartment in her satchel and reveals a slender, crystalline tool. The tool's edges flash cobalt blue. Lena's eyes widen. She has never seen anything like it. Thalia explains, through the comm translator, that the tool is a phase driller. It can bore through solid rock by vibrating at precise frequencies. Its power cell draws energy from nearby tectonic pulses. Thalia demonstrates by pressing the tip gently against the wall. The stone vibrates, and a shallow groove appears in seconds. Lena watches, captivated by the technology. A plan begins to form in her mind. They can use the phase driller to reach the planet's energy core before the Obsidian Collective does. They pack the phase driller into Lena's pack and test its settings, low, medium, and high phase. Lena grips the handle at low phase and guides the tip across a fallen rock. Fine dust sprays off, the stone cutting like soft clay. "Easy," Lena says, smiling. Thalia nods. Then Lena switches to medium phase. The tool bites deeper, and Lena leans her weight into the handle, feeling a gentle hum in her palm. She stops before the score becomes too deep. Thalia places a hand on Lena's shoulder. The translator hums. Not yet. We conserve power. Lena agrees. They choose their next steps carefully. First, they need to reach the ravine's deeper chamber that houses the old planetary engine. Thalia believes the engine is the key to stabilizing Kefara's heart and shutting down the obsidian threat, but that chamber lies beyond a collapsed passage. The phase driller can open a new corridor. Lena's human ingenuity and Thalia's alien tool together might unlock the path. As they gather their gear, Lena pauses to look at the ancient carvings. On the wall, the symbols speak of a guardianship. Lena traces one symbol with her fingertip, a figure with arms lifted to silence chaos. She wonders if humanity can live up to that ideal. She touches the translator device and says, "We will guard this world." Thalia smiles, a rare warmth in her amber eyes. The translator pulses. Together. Light from the bioluminescent plants shifts subtly, marking the passage of time. Lena checks her watch. 02:14 local time. The ravine's opening will be safer in the next hour, before obsidian sensors sweep the surface. Lena and Thalia step onto the stairwell and climb up to the hatch. Lena pauses at the top and looks back at the sealed door. It is a barrier between safety and the unknown. She grips the latch and pulls it open. Dust spills into the chamber as they cross the threshold into the corridor above. Outside, the night wind rattles loose stones in the ravine's walls. Lena leads, flashlight in one hand and rifle slung across her back. Thalia follows, carrying the phase driller in its protective case. They retrace their earlier path, careful to leave no trace. Lena spots a cluster of glowing plants near the chamber entrance and carefully brushes loose dust away. "Night bloom," she murmurs. She places a small piece in her pocket. It might help her analyze Kefara's life energy later. They reach the site where the passage collapsed. A mound of rubble stretches across the floor, blocking the way. Lena sets her backpack down and opens the case. She lifts the phase driller and attaches the power cell. The tool hums softly in her grip. She clears a small working area and rests the driller tip on a large boulder. Lena sets the dial to medium phase. The driller vibrates and the rock's surface shatters like thin glass. Lena pulls the tool backward, carving a neat channel through the debris. Grain by grain, the pile shifts, and a tunnel appears. Thalia watches, impressed by Lena's steady technique. When the opening is wide enough for them to slip through, Lena turns off the driller. She wipes sweat from her brow. "Good work," Thalia says. The translator glows. Human skill is strong. Lena grins. And alien help is stronger. They pack the driller and step into the new passage. A cold draft rushes past, carrying the scent of metal and distant heat. Lena shines her light ahead and sees a slick, polished wall, part of the ancient engine housing. Strange tubes and cables run along the surface, covered in dust and lichen. Lena approaches, heart racing with awe. The engine stands silent, but she feels its latent power humming beneath the stone. She kneels and places her hand on a cable. A soft pulse travels up her arm like a heartbeat. Thalia places her hand beside Lena's. The translator pulses. The heart awaits. Lena breathes deeply. The final step of their journey is within reach. Together, human and alien stand ready to awaken Kefara's core and face the Obsidian Collective before it can extinguish this world's light. Captain. Lena, Reyes, and Thalia step into the polished engine chamber, the air thick with ancient energy. Cool metal walls curve overhead, lined with dormant conduits and silent access ports. Lena's heart pounds. She feels the planet's pulse beneath her boots. The faint hum grows stronger as she approaches a central console, its surface streaked with dust and alien runes. Thalia watches, amber eyes bright with hope and caution. Lena kneels at the console and wipes away dust with her sleeve. Beneath her hand, she finds a triangular indentation that seems designed to fit the phase driller's power cell. She looks up at Thalia. "This is our chance," she says softly. Thalia nods, extending her crystalline tool. Lena removes the power cell and inserts it into the console. A soft click echoes through the chamber. Lights flicker along nearby conduits, and the hum swells into a gentle song of awakening. As the console boots up, a holographic map projects into the air, three-dimensional lines tracing the planet's core, the ravine, and the obsidian ships, approaching. Lena's breath catches. Dozens of drone icons march toward the ravine from all directions. A timer counts down. 6 minutes until impact. Lena presses a holographic button, and a series of controls slides into view. Stabilize core, defensive shield, energy transfer. She hesitates, weighing her options. Thalia steps forward and places a hand on Lena's shoulder. The translator glows. "Trust your judgment. We protect Kafara." Lena exhales and selects Stabilize core. The console displays a series of frequencies. She remembers the phase driller's medium phase setting. It matched the planet's natural resonance. She adjusts the console's sliders to mirror the driller's frequency. The hum in the chamber vibrates through her bones. Around them, the conduits pulse in time. Lena watches the map as a green bar rises under stabilized core. 1 minute. The bar inches upward. 30 seconds. Lena's finger hovers above the final slider. Outside, distant booms echo through the ravine as obsidian drones strike the surface. Lena's jaw tightens. She flicks the last slider into place. The green bar hits 100%. A brilliant wave of blue light surges through the conduits, shooting into the stone and down into the planet's heart. The hum crescendos and then settles into a steady, peaceful rhythm. The holographic map shifts. Dozens of drone icons fall back, repelled by an unseen force. The timer stops at 12 seconds. Lena allows herself a small smile. "It worked," she whispers. Thalia places both hands on the console. The translator pulses. "Core stabilized, shield raised." Outside, Lena hears the thrum of engines waning. She steps to a window-like panel and looks out. A shimmering dome of energy arches over the ravine's mouth, its surface crackling with light. Obsidian drones collide with the shield, sparks flying as they bounce away. Some fall harmlessly into the sands. Others spin and crash into one another, disabling entire squadrons. Lena's chest swells with relief. But there is no time to celebrate. The console's next options glow ominously. Energy transfer and emergency shutdown. Both promise power, but at a cost. Lena recalls Thalia's warning. The obsidian mothership lies just beyond the ravine's walls, ready to descend, on the heart once the shield falls. They need to choose. Draw energy from the core to repel the mothership, or shut down the engine entirely and hide. Lena turns to Thalia. "What should we do?" she asks. Thalia's gaze is steady. The translator shows her words. "We cannot destroy the heart. It gives life, but we can lend it strength." Lena nods, determination shining in her eyes. She selects energy transfer. The console asks for confirmation. Divert 20% of core energy. Lena presses confirm. A pulse of light streams from the central chamber to the shield's perimeter, intensifying its glow. On the map, the barrier expands outward, covering more of the ravine and even parts of the surrounding desert. In the rocks above, Lena senses movement. She turns just in time to see the obsidian mothership's dark hull dip into view. Massive and angular, it hovers silent, its engines dormant until unleashed. Through the chamber's window, Lena watches as its underbelly glows with weapon arrays. She grips the railing. Thalia stands beside her, her form illuminated by the shield's light. Lena presses another button on the console. Deploy countermeasures. Instantly, thousands of small energy pulses shoot from hidden emitters built into the ravine walls. The pulses race upward, intercepting the mothership's targeting beams. Sparks flicker in the air, and the enemy vessel rocks as systems overload. The mothership's engines ignite in a roar, struggling to maintain position. Energy arcs across its hull, then it ascends rapidly, retreating past the ravine's mouth. Lena exhales, tension draining from her shoulders. Thalia's glow dims to a soft warmth. The shield stabilizes, and the humming core settles into a gentle heartbeat once more. Lena leans against the railing and allows herself a moment of quiet pride. "We did it," she says. Thalia smiles, shoulders relaxing for the first time since they met. The translator displays, "Kafara lives." Lena nods. She knows the Obsidian forces will not give up easily, but for now the planet is safe. Human courage and alien wisdom have combined to protect a world. Beyond the shield, the desert lies peaceful under twin moons. Lena places her hand over her heart. "Together," she whispers. Under the soft glow of the stabilized core, Captain Lena Reyes and Thalia stand side by side, two guardians of Kafara 4, united by hope and bound by a promise to defend this world in every challenge yet to come. Captain, Lena Reyes and Thalia stand at the edge of the engine chamber, watching the soft blue glow pulse in steady rhythm. The shield still hums around the ravine's mouth, protecting Kafara 4 from further attack. Lena wipes a bead of sweat from her brow and steps away from the console, her boots echoing on the metal floor. Thalia follows, her amber eyes reflecting the light. Both know this calm is rare. Soon, they must decide their next move. Lena moves to the chamber's exit hatch and opens it. Cool air from the ravine rushes in, stirring dust motes that dance in the light. She looks out into the corridor where ancient stones still bear the bioluminescent glow. "We should explore more," she says. "There may be other secrets here." Thalia nods. The translator hum. "Yes, the old builders left much behind. Their wisdom can help us." Lena grips her rifle and heads into the passage, with Thalia close behind. They pass the pool where Lena first saw the glowing eel-like creature. Now, the water is still, its surface reflecting the light like a mirror. Lena kneels and scoops a handful of water, then pours it slowly back. The planet's life energy is strong here. Thalia steps beside her and touches the water with a single fingertip. The translator glows. "This place is sacred. We honor it." Lena nods solemnly and they continue deeper. Rounding a bend in the ravine, they find a series of carved reliefs on the walls. The stone figures depict the planet's history. Swirling storms, great rivers, vast forests, and alien cities rising and falling. In each scene, figures with many arms lift tools to tend the land. Lena traces one relief with her finger, feeling the grooves carved long ago. Thalia kneels and whispers, "They were keepers of balance, our ancestors." Lena's heart swells. Together they walk beneath the ancient story, understanding that their fight is part of a lineage older than any record. Further on, they enter a large cavern. Stalactites hang like chandeliers from the ceiling, dripping clear water into shallow pools. The floor is soft with moss that glows pale green. Lena steps carefully, marveling at the beauty. She hears a soft flutter and turns to see small, winged creatures dart between the stones. Their wings beat so fast, they seem like living lights. Lena reaches into her pack and takes out a small vial. She had collected spores from the moss earlier. She sprinkles a few in the air. The creatures swirl around the spores and settle on Lena's hand, drawn by the faint glow. Thalia smiles, and the translator pulses. "They trust you." Lena feels a gentle warmth at her fingertips. She watches the creatures glide back to the cavern walls where they rest like living lanterns. "We are welcome here," she murmurs. Thalia places her hand on Lena's arm. The translator shows, "Kefara accepts us." Lena nods, knowing that the planet itself has chosen its defenders. Suddenly, distant tremors shake the cavern floor. Tiny rocks fall from the ceiling. Lena's hand tightens on her rifle. The Obsidian mothership is regrouping. she says. Thalia's glow brightens. The translator reads, "We must warn the Surface Council. They will aid us." Lena agrees. They must alert any allied forces orbiting the planet. Lena checks her comm device. It shows a faint signal. Human ships in low orbit waiting for her status report. They retrace their steps quickly, moving through the corridor and past the reliefs. The hum of the core grows fainter with each step away from the engine chamber. Lena glances at her watch. 04:27 local time. They have little time before the Obsidian Collective attempts another strike. She picks up her pace, Thalia matching her stride. Back at the hatch, Lena wipes sweat from her forehead and opens the metal door. Outside, the ravine's walls glow in the shield's light. Lena raises her comm link to her lips. "Command, this is Captain Reyes. The core is stabilized and shield is active. We require support at coordinate 673. She waits as the device chirps, a crackling reply. "Copy that, Captain. Fleet moving into position. ETA 15 minutes. Lena lowers the comm and breathes a sigh of relief. Support is on the way. Thalia steps beside her, looking out over the ravine. The translator glows. "Your people are true allies." Lena smiles and places her hand over her heart. "We will protect Kafara together," she replies. Behind them, the glowing creatures streak across the night sky like living stars. The shield glitters in the moonlight, a promise of safety. Lena turns to Thalia. "Let's guide the fleet down," she says. "They will need landing sites and shelter." Thalia nods. The translator pulses. "I will show them the way." Together, human and alien walk toward the ravine's mouth, ready to forge a larger alliance. They carry not only hope but the wisdom of ancient keepers and the courage of modern explorers. As they step into the glowing shield, Lena feels a surge of pride. Kafara 4 is alive and resilient. She knows challenges lie ahead. Obsidian forces are relentless. But she also knows they are not alone. With Thalia and the planet's own guardians at her side, Captain Lena Reyes is determined to write the next chapter in an epic story of unity, courage, and the unbreakable bond between species. Captain Lena Reyes and Thalia lead the first wave of human ships through the glowing shield's entrance. The fleet's landing shuttles touch down on smooth stone terraces that Thalia knows from childhood stories. Each shuttle settles gently, folding landing gear into pistons that brace against the rocky ground. Lena watches as her fellow officers step onto Kefara's soil, their eyes wide with wonder at the living world around them. Thalia guides the landing party to a natural clearing bordered by glowing moss and bioluminescent plants. Human engineers begin setting up temporary shelters made of light frame alloys and fabric domes. Lena helps direct their placement so they do not harm the fragile ecosystem. Each dome is raised on stilts to let water flow beneath, and solar panels are angled to catch both of Kefara's twin suns when morning comes. As the sun peaks above the horizon, its twin lifts slowly into view. Warm light spills across the camp. Lena walks among the shelter domes, checking on supplies and speaking with technicians. They report that the shield's power is stable and that the engines beneath the ravine hum a gentle, steady song. Lena smiles. The planet itself seems to welcome this careful partnership. Meanwhile, Thalia leads a team of alien scholars and human scientists to the ancient relief carvings along the ravine walls. They record each symbol and pattern, eager to learn from the builders who first balanced Kefara's life force. Lena joins them, her field notebook open. Together, they translate the symbols for unity, guardianship, and renewal. Each word feels like a pledge between species. Back at the engine chamber, Lena and Thalia meet with the fleet's commander, Admiral Marcus Hale. He is a tall man with silver hair and calm eyes. Lena introduces Thalia and explains how the phase driller helped repair the core and raise the shield. Admiral Hale listens with respect. "Your knowledge saved this world," he tells Thalia. "We owe you our gratitude." Thalia smiles softly. The translator glows. "It is my honor to stand with humanity." Across the ravine, human medics and alien healers work side by side in a makeshift clinic. A wounded drone pilot, rescued yesterday, lies on a biobed. The healers use gentle sonic pulses to mend minor injuries. Lena passes by and pauses, seeing the pilot open her eyes and smile. It is a small miracle that two very different beings can share care and compassion. Lena's heart swells with hope. By midday, the Obsidian Collective has begun a full retreat. Their mothership drifts beyond the system's edge, defeated for now. Lena watches it shrink against the sky, a dark silhouette fading into the stars. She turns to Thalia. "They will return," she says quietly. Thalia nods. The translator pulses, "Then we will stand ready." Lena makes a silent promise. She and all humanity will guard Kafara together. As evening falls, the camp gathers for a ceremony by the glowing pool in the ravine's depths. Thalia places a hand on the water and Lena does the same. Around them, humans and aliens form a circle. A choir of winged creatures rises above, their wings flashing in time with the pool's ripples. Lena raises her voice to speak. "Today, we forge a new alliance. We will protect this world with our strength, our knowledge, and our friendship." Cheers rise from the group. Under twin moons, Lena and Thalia stand side by side, their silhouettes reflected in the still water. The planet seems to breathe around them, its heart safe for another day. Challenges may come, but the bond between human and alien has been sealed. Kafara the Four is no longer a lonely outpost, it is a home shared by many. Together they step forward into the night, ready for the promise of tomorrow.